Alright, so game on, and starting down to the bottom of the map we have Bunny for Team Liquid in blue. The Terran player here going up against his Zerg opponent in the round of 16 of the Caseking Christmas Cup. Up to the top right it is Impact, his opponent in this first map here, merry-go-round. I'm Khaldor, with me is Todd today. So let's see who's gonna take it. Will we see a foreigner go to the round of 8, Todd? What do you think?
I hope so. I don't know if I'm going to say I think so, but yeah, with Bunny, you never know. As you said yourself, he plays pretty well against Zerg sometimes, and he can be a beast, but so is Impact.
Every time I see Impact play, I'm still thinking about that pimp picture that he had there at GSL that one day when he brought like his jacket into the booth, and it was so funny. Like, that picture is probably still out on Google somewhere, but that was funny as hell. This guy is just like so good and a pretty big baller. But Bunny, I mean, we were both in London, as you already pointed out in the break, at Gfinity G3. He was doing so well there, and especially the Zerg players just didn't know what to do against him. It was brutal. Like, every time he was matched up with a Zerg, he just would wreck them.
I mean, Protoss too back then, but yeah, against Zerg in particular, I really feel like, I don't know if I would say it's his best matchup, but it's the one he at least impresses me the most in. I remember when he got matched up against Sax3 in Challenger, and everybody was like, "Oh God, you're so freaking unlucky, Bunny. I'm sorry for you."
Oh God, you're right.
Just like, yeah, he reverse, like, swept him 3-2, and I was like, "What the hell did I just watch?" Like,
I even forgot that game. I casted that in German back then. I was in Germany for an offline tournament, and I was at Takes Place, and they started to cast the matches in German. I was like, well, I'm here already, so I might as well cast a few games in my native language once again. And that was actually really fun. At the beginning, it looked like Bunny would have no chance, and then suddenly just he turned it around, and he went full God mode there. That was crazy. You're completely right. I forgot about that series.
I was casting in French, and I was like, "Okay, guys, it's 2-0, get ready for the 3-0. And then he won one map, I'm like, okay, 3-1. Then he won one map, I'm like, okay, I guess still 3-2 for Sax3, and then he won 3-2.
Yeah, when
I couldn't believe, man.
Yeah, me too. Like, when he won the first map, I was like, okay, at least he saves himself some dignity, you know. He takes one map, he doesn't go out without losing, like, all of them. But I would have never thought that he's actually in a spot where he just, like, simply completely annihilates him. Yeah. So that was extremely nice.
I guess Bunny is arguably the best foreigner. We've got quite a few good ones, you know. Snoot, Scarlet, Vortex, and Bunny, I guess.
Yeah, Snoot is also someone that I would have loved to see in the tournament. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it this time. I didn't have time this weekend. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see him. Maybe if we're going to run another tournament at some point in the future, we're going to see him there. He would have loved to play, but apparently he had already a few appointments with friends and family. So now we have actually, like, once again Impact trying to go for a bit of pressure play here and taking down that SCV, or at least attempting to before the bunker is done. I don't. Whoa! He's just able to make that happen. But there are 3 Marines already, and if you have the SCVs at the front, Zerglings won't be able to do too much.
Yeah, he slowed down the production of that CC here a little bit, but not for too long. And behind this, we're gonna have a factory. Bunny's already on double gas. He's mining 2+2. I really like that. Rather than doing 3+3 and having way too much gas and not enough minerals, he just does 2+2. He's going to optimize his mining and already start to wall off the bunker that he has on his natural too.
This is once again one of those maps where we also see a lot of roach pushes. I mean, the pushing distance between the maps is really, really short, so you see a lot of Zerg players being extremely aggressive on this map. And especially for that, I like that we have that bunker placement here for Bunny with a really good spot, not completely exposed up at the front. He can already set that up, and of course he's aware of that, so he's going to be like playing this pretty cautious, trying to find out, okay, what's happening there. Himself going straight into that starport here with the gas that you already mentioned, with the optimization here on the Turn 2. We have him now with a tech potentially into Banshees that he could use to just pressure that natural in the main base. And we've seen a few of those plays in the past few games today already doing massive amounts of damage to the economy. But here comes the fast tech for Impact straight into the lair tech, roughly around the 6-minute 20-second mark, and getting additional gas already down here at the natural.
And Impact right now, I don't know why, but I think this flashback of, like, you know, when he was the documentary where he joins the Brood War team and he talks about like how he want to beat Jaedong. I don't know if you saw that.
I have to admit I didn't.
He was like, you know, the documentary that featured 3 players, Jaedong, Impact, and this one other guy, and like he's a really, like, in that video I think he's like 15 or 16, and he joins the Brood War team and he tells them like, I want to be as good as Jedong and stuff. And then later on, he went on to beat him at DreamHack. And then now he's made it all this way, where he's like one of the very good players in StarCraft 2, but that doesn't get nearly as much spotlight as he should. Because to me, Impact is... I don't know if I would say, you know, as good as Solar, but definitely up there with guys like Solar. And the guys like Solar and all these top Zergs, they can always go very deep in the tournament or win it and then finally get some spotlights that they deserve. So Impact here, this could be a win. I feel here for him in this tournament if he shows up in his best shape. But right now he's in trouble against this attack that's coming.
Now he has to be careful, but he has a few banelings. If he gets good connects out of those and he moves in, takes the first few, takes down the Hellbats. Really well done so far with the defense. And even those two last Hellbats are not going to do anything. He could have tried to save them, but he moved away. The Queens pressured the Medivac already, and an easy defense for Impact here against Bunny. The circling attack that we had earlier to the mineral line at the natural was also quite decent. Took down a few additional harvesters there. In total he killed 5 SCVs. We have Bunny now down to 60 supply against 64. The Spire attack is on the way, but that Baneling Nest was like so crucial. Like, how many times have we seen a Zerg player try to play too greedy, skipping the Baneling Nest, skipping the Roachborn, and suddenly die to Hellbats? You see that a lot less these days, but that's one of the scary things to see. So it's quite nice to see how well that timing worked out for Impact. Just finishing the Baneling Nest, getting the Banelings, and then facing the attack.
I'm really worried for... oh no, there it is actually. The eBay is gonna start here, double eBay even. Because yeah, we have a Spire, you know, getting very close to finishing here. And I wasn't seeing any eBay or any capability to build a lot of Marines or even a Thor. So I was already starting to picture, you know, Mutas just flying in there and wrecking the economy of any. Oh man, that last shot.
Yeah,
against the wall.
That last hit that you saw there, you already think you got away, and then suddenly the Banshee dies. And well, now we have the Mutalisks building. He's already getting the first missile turrets in the mineral line, but still, right now we have Hellions moving in as well. The problem is that there's a spine crawler at the top. There's another. Did you see? He already moved the Queen from the main base down for the defense, and now moves it back. But the third is exposed, and with the Hellbats now, that's basically the anti-circling move. Now he needs to do something against those Banelings, and he's already going for the split. He's actually doing this really well. He lost one single Hellbat against 3 Banelings. It was very well done. The problem still is that there was enough time by Impact to get his Mutalisks out.
Oh, got baited into the Spore here. You don't tower dive in StarCraft, Khaldor.
No, you don't tower dive. This is not Heroes of the Storm. They can do that, but not in StarCraft, and especially not if you're only like a single Banshee. Diving a Spore Crawler is not a good idea.
Yeah. Good crit spread, by the way, by Impact. And, you know, with the build that he went for, you know, Baneling and then straight into the Spire, what you neglect when you do this is your upgrade. So now the double evolution chamber is up. We should be seeing upgrade starts. ASAP here for Impact. He's going to need those, and he's saturating the third base very well.
The one thing that I have to say is that so far in this game, it feels like Impact really has Bunny's number. Whatever Bunny does, Impact takes a minimal amount of losses. Like, the Banshees move in, get 1-2 kills, but that's about it. Then the first Banshee dies. He gets the second Banshee as well. The Hellbats are trying to do some damage, and Impact is ready for them with Banelings. The third base is being attacked, but he can defend. So Bunny is really putting on the moves, but Impact is just playing, I would say, solid, you know? Like, he always has an answer to that, and is just trying to play his style here. And so far I feel the Terran player couldn't really threaten him yet.
Yeah, every one of the attacks of Bunny was defended well enough for Impact to be able to say that, well, every time you attack me, I'm gonna kill a little bit more of what you kill than what you kill. Especially, like, yeah, in terms of walkers, like, he's killed 6 SCVs and only 4 drones have died, so I guess he's done a little bit better with that.
We have the speed upgrades now done. The combat shield is not quite completed yet, but the +1 attack upgrade and combat shield are going to be done in a second. The armor upgrade has been started now that he's relying on the double engineering bay. But for Impact, we just see the standard composition where we go into Ling, Baneling, and then Mutalisks. He's already getting his 4th base up now that he has identified that Bunny is on 3 bases. And that 3rd base is, of course, where a lot of the problems from Terran players come from in this map, because it's just so exposed that it's very difficult to defend, especially when your opponent is not afraid of just sending some Banelings into the mineral line or trying to just like bust through the bunkers and the supply depots with Banelings.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was gonna say we were gonna see drilling claws because the second factory was added pretty early, And he even uses that to get some Thor. So Bunny playing it, I guess what you could call old school here. With the composition, you're getting a lot of Widow Mines, even though he made Hellbats at first. And I quite like that, like in supply, he's a little bit ahead right now, but he starts stepping on creep. And Impact might be looking to engage ASAP. Bunny knows that, so he's just going to pull back for now here.
He doesn't really have a high amount of, like a big amount of medivacs, so he can't really like get those units back to safety. The thing is though that we have Impact just moving straight in. He circumvents the army. Oh my god, he flies straight over the Marines and the missile turret into the Thor, like trying to snipe that, and he will be successful with it, but he loses a fair share of Mutalisks in the process. I feel that Bunny could have maybe even defended the Thor a bit better. Now he's about to split his units. He needs a few more in the main base, and that's where he went with the Marines, but there are 2 Banelings still being morphed, but those Mutalisks, I don't know how many he lost. In total he lost 12 already, and he could have saved a lot of those Mutalisks there, I feel. Impact wasting quite a few units.
Yeah, but he got a Thor at least.
Yeah.
That's definitely a win. It's always the worst when you get like that one unit that's very expensive and that's so important, and then as it comes out it gets caught and dies.
The 2 Banelings, by the way, in the main base not really doing anything that he morphed
Oh
there.
my god! That detonation, 17 kills on that Widow Mine. I think it got so many Banelings.
Yeah, I actually like missed it on observer screen, so sorry.
Bunny's maxed out?
Yeah, he's at 200 supply. He's basically pulling the same style again that he used against Suckscreen. We talked about the series earlier. Now he has to move away though. He only has those 2 medivacs, and that's a really low number if you want to make up for all those additional Baneling hits, about the bouncing of the glaives and the stims that we use.
God.
But he's doing it so well. Todd,
It's a slugfest.
This is actually the map where he started the comeback against Suckscreen. No, I'm pretty sure that is the map where he started to win the series.
Damn fails, man. Impact actually suicided a few Banelings. Hey, he's doing it again into the 3rd base of Bunny. He's just weakened his economy a little bit more. I mean, right now it looked more for a second that it was Impact who was doing a comeback in this game, but I guess for now, Bunny is still ahead in supply, and soon he's gonna have the 2-2 that's gonna be so important.
It's just like 18 Harvesters killed. Impact's aggression with the Banelings definitely works for him, but still 50 SCVs for the Terran player. That's not a bad number when you're looking at 3 command centers for the extra mules. The upgrades are very much the same, with Impact having a slight timing window where he can attack on 2-2 upgrades against 1-1, but that window is closing fast. And now we have Impact moving in with units again to the left side, sending another set of Zerglings to the right. Might go for another run by, maybe even with the with Banelings. But we have double Thor now with the army of Bunny, and Bunny is starting to move in against that, and those Mutalisks will have quite a lot of trouble facing that army.
One of Bunny's big problems is that he's been oversteaming quite a bit. You can see his army is not even on full hit points right now. Like back to when Impact started counterattacking a lot, Bunny was steaming a lot. So he needs to be careful with that.
Yes, only
if he doesn't wait the full end to the steam, then he's gonna be very low, and Impact finally goes for it. They're still at the edge of the creep, but I think Bunny might have too much.
Yeah, Bunny has a lot, and Impact was trying to go for another attack with a few Banelings and Zerglings down to the main base. He's sending another set of units in there already, but he didn't really kill anything with it. He gets one of the Thors. Bunny is trying to save it with a quick afterburner use on the medivac, but he doesn't get there in time to save it. But just in general, we've seen Bunny do really well against those run-bys. The main army, on the other hand, most of the units died. He lost the Widow Mines, he lost the Thors, so he's now down to only the Marines, and Impact has taken a supply lead again, looking at 180 versus 160 overall supply.
Yeah, Impact, he has no Infestation Pit, no Hive on the way, and we have 3-3 now started for Bunny, so I guess he can start playing a little bit more passive for now, wait for the Zerg to attack into him, which is exactly what happens here. Good split against the Banelings. And finally the Medivac count is starting to be a little bit higher. Was that a Baneling bot?
Yeah, that Baneling hit there, that did a lot of damage. That was... That negated everything that Bunny gained from the last fight.
But he literally just got it during that fight, because it was still in the production tab for quite a bit, so all of a sudden 185 supply for Impact, 120 for Bunny, and Impact gets in there, he wants to end the game.
Wow, Impact is really on the hunt right now, and the problem for Bunny really earlier was that low count in medivacs, and those medivacs ran out of energy very soon. Now that army is so low, and Impact just goes in for the kill. He is trying to just hammer Bunny into the ground. Here come the Mutalisks chasing the Thor away, but that Thor has been sniped as well. And look at the Banelings moving in. Impact loses wins the match after he lost a bit of the mid game, but he comes back with a vengeance, and Bunny is now down 1 game in the best-of-3 series. The last foreigner in the tournament starting to struggle here. Let's find out if he can maybe start a comeback on map number 2. Deadwing is the map for game number 2 here at the series. Impact already in the lead against the last remaining foreign player in the Caseking Christmas Cup. Down to the bottom left we have Bunny for Team Liquid, and starting to the top right cross position it is Impact. Impact here in red, and with a 1-0 lead needs one more map win to advance to the next round, where he is going to meet the winner between MC and Jakji, which will be the next round of 16 match here at the Caseking Christmas Cup. So, good performance by Impact so far. With me casting once again is of course Todd, and we are going to find out if Bunny can pull off a similar comeback as he did in the WCS qualifier, where he faced a few months ago Saskri, and it looked like he would be eliminated without taking a single map, but came back. Maybe he can accomplish the same feat here.
Man, your referee is pretty sick. He already got the maps ready for the next match.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah, this guy's really good. You were thanking people, so we should definitely give him a thank too, because he's been doing well.
Yeah, I feel like it's just awesome when you have like a referee that's really on top of these things, just so you can go from one best of 3 to the next one. You give the players a bit of a chance to just adjust, host the maps, allow all the casters to go in there. But downtime has been very, very small today, except for that one like 5-minute break that we had, where Impact apparently didn't really know which server it was. So I'm pretty happy with that.
We haven't had any problems, so why the hell are you trying to jinx it, Khaldor?
I'm not jinxing anything here. There's not going to be any problems. Shh.
Alright, Impact hatch first.
You
I don't think we're going to see a double hatch.
The only reason why you're casting with me is not your casting skills, it's because I know if somebody drops out, I can send you in to fill the spot.
Really?
You should be actually like, oh, that's so nice, and instead you're like really sounding frustrated or annoyed. Like, of course that's not the reason. Man. Love casting with you, you know that.
I'd just be surprised that you want me to basically ruin the fun, because I will wreck everybody on my way. Just give me like life or a noob like that first round.
You know, right now I'm really just thinking of asking Life, just like throwing in like a 50 and saying, hey Life, do you want to have an easy 50 euros? You'll have to go up against Tom just to see that happening.
I wouldn't play for a winner takes all show match, Khaldor. I would need an attendance fee.
Attendance fee, okay. I'll keep it in mind for the next cup.
Yeah, on this map, expanding, you know, gonna be easier, like going up to a third base and stuff, especially compared to merry-go-round. So we might see a little bit more of massing happening and less harassing. You know, the build that Impact played in the previous game. As much as I know that he likes to play very aggressive, I don't think it will be nearly as good here. You know, where you go for the Mutas, and then if you have to, before you get some Zergling and Banelings. It's time for the drones, man. It's time to build up the economy.
I mean, for now we have actually like Bunny with the expansion done. Speed upgrade for Impact is still pretty fast, so with that he can contest for, first of all, of course, any kind of Hellion pressure. Can then also rush a few of the units across the map and trying to be a bit aggressive, but as you already said, the distance is pretty huge. The chances that you're really getting anything out of this are slim to none. Bunny has been the player who was trying to be more aggressive with Hellion pressure, with Hellbat, something to do here. The scouts are getting in position for Impact. It's basically just like this early game stuff that we're seeing done. How do you think about the changes that they already announced for Legacy of the Void, where they want to make sure that the game kind of starts with more Harvesters, so that you have a chance to like skip the, at least a part of the build-up phase?
I think it's really good, personally. Like, it will cut a lot of you know, the lack of stuff happening in start of the game. Like for the first 2 minutes right now, nothing happens except if somebody's is cheesing. So it's really nice. It will also remove a lot of the proxies. Like, how do you 11-11 as Tyrion when you start with 12 walkers? So I guess you can kill one of your own SCVs, but that will be really shit.
The thing is,
removing the initial proxies in PvP also is gonna be nice.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, there's going to be new strategies, new proxies, new stuff like that, but I guess we're going to get to the action a lot faster than we do right now. There were like times, especially in Wings of Liberty at the end, where on a map like Daybreak, if there was a Protoss versus Zerg as a caster, you could close your eyes and cast the game, because you knew exactly the timings, down to the last seconds, what they would go through in every Protoss versus Zerg, up to the 7-minute mark. You knew exactly what was going on. And I mean, sometimes it's nice that it gives you a bit of time to talk about a certain player and about like things that just happened in tournaments, or just like review the way that they took to get into that scenario. But
I'll talk about Nintendo games if you're tasteless.
That works too. But yeah, in general, I like that they try to eliminate that a bit more and try to bring us like closer to the action.
Does Bunny realize he has two SCVs locked outside of the wall and it's natural? It's making me really upset right now, Khaldor. Oh, there we go.
Okay, there he realizes it. It's like the same thing when you realize that a Zerg player or even a Protoss just like only has like one worker in gas or like forgot something like that or has 5 in there because he made a bad move after he got dropped, and then you check that over and over again, and stuff like that has lost games for some people. So it's really annoying when it happens, especially of course for the player when he realizes it after the game is already over and he lost and he was thinking the entire match, why do I not have enough gas?
Yeah, you need to be careful with that stuff, man. It's very easy to happen if you don't pay attention for 1 second.
Oh yeah.
Again, this is one of the things that have been there.
Yeah, especially after that attempt with that siege tank, by the way, to put pressure on the mineral line. It really works for him. I like that move. It's really just a small thing, but it works very well for him. And you know, with the positioning, what it reminds me a bit of, Shattered Temple, when you were dropping against Zerg, one of the siege tanks onto the high ground, and then the Zerg player had to wait for the Mutalisks to actually deal with it. That's the exact situation, just that it's now happening on a 3 bases, in a 3 bases scenario, in a 2 base scenario, so it doesn't have as much of an impact on the game. Not trying to make any jokes here.
We've got a problem, Khaldor. Look at the double eBay.
Wait, oh. Yeah, the same thing happening again. That's actually like a really good move to see the idle worker count. Look at the idle worker count that we have for Bunny. It's at 350 seconds already against the 26 seconds for impact. So Bunny definitely having a bit of an issue with this. First the SCVs that you pointed out at the wall, and now this.
Yeah, that one's stuck. Needs to pick it up with the minivac, man. This one needs special care. Yeah, actually, Bunny's base is kind of messed up. If you look at the factory, the barracks that we're searching steam pack on the add-on, and the starport, units will get stuck on the bottom right-hand side of this a lot of the time. Like, he needs to basically specially customize the rally point of his factory to like do a double rally point above and then on the right.
He just got, by the way, done with that missile turret in the last second before the muralists moved in. Forces a stim out, which is really good considering how low Bunny's medevac count was in the last game, and also in this series. Wow!
In fact, really getting in there and fighting those Marines.
He didn't lose anything yet. He's actually just taking them. Oh, now he loses 3 of the mutalisks. But I still think it's worth it considering how much of the anti-air he took down. Look how many of those stims he forces out, and he really pressures Bunny here. Puts those medevacs in a bad spot, takes down Marines. If you look at the units lost, that's 3 mutalisks that he sacrificed, but he got 15 Marines in total. That, of course, siege tank earlier, one of the medevacs. Like, this game is going very, very well for Impact, at least so far.
Yeah, he reached a very high drone count very quickly in this game compared to the previous one. The thing is, in the previous game he was ahead on upgrades, not by much, but he was ahead. In this game he's going to be quite a bit behind, assuming Bunny finally gets the armory that he needs very soon and starts his 2-2, and because he starts this pretty late. He starts the armory as 1-1 already finished, which is not ideal, but I guess those mutas are doing a pretty good job of distracting him.
Oh yeah, they're putting pressure on the production, they're putting pressure on the reactors that we see at the barracks, so this is going to become really sore point for Bunny. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him just like put down another missile turret there just to make sure that those mutalisks are not going to snipe his add-ons, because it's going to take an eternity for him to rebuild them, and that's production time he's missing out on. We're having the upgrades also now done for Bunny with the 1-1. That's a bit of an advantage that he has. But Impact is really pressuring him. And he already has a 4th base set up. The creep spread is just starting to gain some momentum for him. And we see him also with the upgrades for the air units, of course, so that he can pack a bit of a punch there.
Yeah, Bunny, he has this one composition that he really likes with lots of Marines, some Widow Mines, and some Thors. And that's the way he likes to play against Zerg. And you know, I think he's very good with it. In the previous game, I really think that he was in a good position, and it's really that one Baneling landmine that killed him. So in this game, he's gonna want to be a lot more careful about it. Maybe engage a little bit more slowly, and make sure that Banelings just don't mess him up, basically.
Yeah.
Impact, I think a lot of Zerglings on the left-hand side. Do you think he wants to counter-attack, or is that for Baneling?
Well, that could be for like he put Banelings and Zerglings together, but did you see the Christmas present in the middle of the map that we saw there? Christmas like just came 2 days early for Bonnie. There was a bunch of Zerglings that he just donated. He just threw them into the Terran army, and the Banelings were trying to just close the gap, but they weren't fast enough. So that took a lot down. Suddenly the Mutalisks are moving into the natural, going straight into the mineral, sniping that one turret, and the Zerglings are following it up. The Lings that you've just been talking about are going straight into that third, because the Marines and the Thor are trying to just preserve the Harvester line at the natural. So he's losing a lot right now. That entire mineral line at the third has been demolished. The Harvester count is down to 46. Impact is at 92. He's doubling his opponent's Harvester count right now. He might actually have a few too many.
I feel like I'm watching live play right now, man. Every time Bunny leaves his base, there is Mutas and Zerglings harassing him and doing a ton of work. He forced Bunny to do a bad attack inside of his Banelings, and Bunny just lost his entire army here in 1 second.
This is brutal for Bunny. I mean, he's looking at a 50 supply disadvantage now. We have him with the upgrades. That's still on level. Oh god, he's gonna lose his medivacs now, isn't he? He's trying to afterburn away, but he lost 2 of them, and he's already playing with a very low count. He's trying to snipe the command center, and he gets it. He gets the command center. The third base is just gone, and immediately the reaction from Bunny, typing GG, tapping out of the game, and Impact takes it with a 2-0 and advances to the next round of the Caseking Christmas Cup.